Morning everyone, I'm back in the garden. I've had yesterday and today are rest days, so I've just done 4 days of earlies and 10-hour shifts. They make me so tired, but anyway, I had a really nice restful day yesterday, and today I'm just pottering about. So I don't know how much filming I'm going to get done today, because at the moment I've got all my washing on the line, because this is my home garden, so a lot of the domestic chores come first. So I don't think you really want to see my laundry. So I've just making myself a list of some of the jobs that I'd like to do today. So one of them is almost like a daily task really, is deadheading all the flowers in the containers around the garden. And also I'm going to have to lift my sweet peas, which I always find quite sad every year, because that says to me that autumn's on the way. But all the growth is dying back now, and it's starting to look very yellow and very sad. So yeah, I'm going to lift those today. Talking about autumn, it definitely feels very different in the garden now. I haven't got the same amount of sunlight as I've had, because the sun isn't so high in the sky, and so a lot of the garden is in more shade than it has been over the last couple of months. So it's always quite sad, but we adjust and then we start to enjoy autumn, and every season's got its own benefits. So I'm not going to dwell on that too much. I'm just going to enjoy what sunshine I have got today. So on my list, so we've got the deadheading and the sweet peas, and I've got some weeding to do and some feeding. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around the garden and I'm going to weed the beds, take out any weeds that are there, and then put down some chicken pellets just to give the soil a bit of a boost. And that's it. That's all I've got left of my sweet peas. They've done really well this year. I had a little bit of powdery mildew, but not too bad. So that's it. They're finished. Right, one of the things I've been doing in the garden is cutting back my calendula, and as you can see, that's starting to die back in places. I'll show you here. And it did suffer from powdery mildew. So if you cut it back, if you can see in here, you've got some new growth coming. If you cut it right back to that new growth, you'll get a second flourish. Now I did that with some of my other plants a couple of weeks ago, and I'll show you how they've progressed. So this one's cut back and it's now flowering, and that's another one that's coming back. I've also got one here, and if you look closely you can see where I've cut it back. And these I've just done, so that's had some growth coming at the bottom. This one, you can see that. Just cut all that out. Cut that one out. I'll leave that a couple of weeks and that'll start to bush out again. I'll have some more flowers. You can do this with most perennials when they've had their first flush and then start to flop. Cut them right back and you'll get a second flourish. It's best to do it really in the summer. I think it's a bit late for some of the plants now, but I did it with my petunias when they were getting very leggy. Cut them right back to the lowest growth and left them a week or so, and they started flowering again, and I've had constant flowers all through the summer. So you can see these are quite leggy now. I won't bother doing any more now, but in the summer if you cut it back, so this is the top, if you keep going down, if you go where you've got these new growths, cut it back to about there. Sorry, I'm not showing you very well, but cut it back to about there, and all these side shoots will then develop and give you a second flush. Popped in the greenhouse because I thought one of the jobs that I need to do is to prick out some of these seedlings and pop them on. But look what I have just discovered. Something has been eating them, little devils. So I'm going to have to remove all those before they eat the whole of the seedling. So that little monkey has been doing all that damage. This is one of my lemons that the little critters have had a go at. I've had a good look at it now, I've picked it over. There's no more little caterpillars, no more eggs. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it'll recover. This is another one. And another. But I've had a good look at it and there's nothing else on there that's going to do it any harm. So I think it's just something I'm going to have to keep an eye on every day. Oh, this is the tiniest one. This is not growing very fast at all for some reason, and it has been attacked. So again, I have to keep an eye on that. And then I've got two. These two have been completely untouched, really healthy, growing well, as you can see. So I'm just going to have to be a lot more vigilant. Peppers look great. So do the chillies. So I've got these. And the Cheyenne. And then there's these beauties. These are the Alicante. These are the Gardener's Delight, still flowering, and the plum. Some there, some through there. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of the garden to show you what I've been up to and how everything's doing. So I weeded the leeks about a week ago. They look nice and healthy. No signs of rust at the moment, so hopefully they might be a rust resistant variety, but we'll see. And then next to it is the cauliflower that I planted some weeks ago. I only planted 5 because I didn't have enough room for the 6th plant, but I managed to get that in today. So we've got 6 cauliflowers. And then if you look at this tomato, I pinched out the tip of one of the tomatoes that's in the greenhouse, and I just thought, I don't know, I'll just stick it in the ground and see what happens. And it's doing fantastically. I've got fruit there. I don't know if you can see through. Another lot there. And then you come up the plant and there's more. So the beans are still doing well. And I think really looking around the garden, this is the last of the summer crops that's still going strong in the garden. If I come round here, you can see the cobra. And there's more runner beans hanging down. They seem to prefer this kind of temperature compared to that hot weather we had in the summer. And then my borlotti, they're still producing. If you come right up the top, there's plenty still to come. So I've still got some of the French climbing beans coming, some further up in there. Some of the leaves are getting a bit tired now, but there's more there. Some purple climbing beans still producing. So now the sweet peas are taken out. Once I've lifted the celeriac, be another month or so yet, I should put in my overwinter onions in this area. But for now, I'll just let them carry on growing. Then I've got my cosmos, which is taller than I am. And this is the radish that I sowed, I think it was last week. So they've come up really quickly. Hello, Paddy. This is my late buy courgette because my other 2 failed. And this is starting to put on a little bit of weight now, so hopefully if it stays fairly warm for the next month or so, we'll have some courgettes. This is one of my celeriac bulbs. And if I pan round, you can see there's others. This is the loganberry, which I keep trimming back, but it's growing like crazy. It's come through the netting, so I'll have to do that in a minute. And the other job I've done today, I've finally put the dwarf buddleias into containers. So this is the pink, and then if I pan round, this is the lilac. So that they've now got room for the roots to spread, and hopefully by spring next year they'll probably be double in size. And they're mainly for the butterflies because they love them so much. So it's just an overview of the whole garden now. Got a lot of spaces, but still some colour. Well, I've had another lovely day in the garden. I've done lots of little jobs that I wanted to do, which I've shown you. One of the things I was going to do, and I haven't, was to prick out the seedlings. But I think it's the kale. Yeah, it's the kale's been nobbled by something. It must be a moth. As I showed you, all the little caterpillars are on there. I don't think it's worth even saving them. I think what I might do is just sow direct into the soil and see what happens, and maybe the same with the chard. But the salad crops are doing okay, so I will pop them on probably tomorrow now before I go to work, because I'm on a late shift tomorrow. So before I go, a couple of things I wanted to show you is this. I'll give it a good shake. I saved all my lavender buds, and they've been seeping in olive oil for about a week now. They've got to have another 3 weeks to go, and then I'll strain that off and I'll be able to make some lavender balm with that. And then the calendula, again, I've been picking the flowers when they were fresh, and I've been seeping the petals in olive oil again. And that's going a gorgeous colour. So again, I'll be able to make some balms with that as well. I'm also going to have a go at making some soap this year. Probably do some more lavender oil and use that as a base. But that's something to see in a later video. So for now, I think it's tea time. I'm going to pack everything up, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Morning everyone. I've just come in the greenhouse to give my peppers a good soaking. Sorry, Paddy's in the way. What are you doing? You going to stay on my lap? Are you going to let me talk to everybody? What are you doing?